This is a sport of fighting against death. 8 seconds on the back of a bull and you get $100,000, but it's hard for anyone to make it out in one piece. As the countdown ends, he was lucky to be one of the few to get the prize money. But just as the crowd was cheering for him, the bull broke free and rammed into his direction. In the nick of time, he jumped onto the fence. The bull stopped and was driven back into the ring by the staff. When he turned to leave, the woman called out to him as she picked up the hat on the ground.
Keep it.
Unbeknownst to them, this hat will make their marriage in the near future. At night they met again.
You know, I got a hat just like that.
Recognizing him as the cowboy from the daytime, the woman's face lights up with a smile, and was about to give him back his hat, but the man refused.
No, you hold on to it. Looks better on you.
The woman put it back on her head. At the man's initiative, they introduced themselves to each other briefly.
Can I get you a drink?
Well, you were the big winner tonight, right? I think I should be the one buying you a beer.
I don't know. It doesn't work like that where I'm from.
Okay. You're fine.
Just as they were about to enter the tavern, Annie met her bestie. She was drunk. Even walking properly was a problem. She looked at Jack with regret, and canceled their plans for the rest of the day, in order to see each other again. Jack asked for her contact information before she left, but for a long time, the phone number Annie left that night could not be reached.
You're telling me that he has called you and you haven't called him back.
I'm moving to New York in 2 months. What's the point?
What's the point?
Annie was about to graduate from college. She had an internship in New York in 2 months, so she didn't want to start a relationship that would never work. Her bestie was kind enough to advise her. It's not a good idea to keep running away. You should tell him everything to his face. Looking at the hat that Jack had given her, after a moment's hesitation, Annie called back the missed call on her cell phone. Jack was delighted to receive the call. He didn't ask her why she wasn't answering her phone, and didn't even give Annie a chance to explain. He extended an invitation to a weekend dinner.
Should I meet you somewhere?
No, I'll pick you up at your place.
Annie didn't want to hurt him on the phone, so she just said yes. She was prepared to explain everything to him in person. At the appointed time, Jack showed up at her college campus with flowers in his hand. In front of the curious eyes of the roommates, they walked outside side by side. The car didn't go to the town diner. It stopped in front of a lake. Jack has already set up a table here, with food prepared in advance. They stayed for hours. Soon it was evening. They talked a lot about each other, plans for the future of their lives, about the past, and finally, Annie spoke her mind.
I'm actually moving to New York at the end of next month.
Okay.
That's why it took me so long to call you back. I didn't think that this would even be a good idea.
Glad you did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is just bad timing.
A thunderclap sounded in the sky, and Jack sensed the rejection in Annie's words. When he drove her home, the rain was pouring down, almost blocking the view. Then he suddenly noticed that the fence on the side of the road appeared to be broken. Not far from the fence, there was a car on fire. Neither of them could ignore the scene. They ran forward in a panic, and found a dying man in the driver's seat. Jack forced the door open, and saved him from the exploding car. But then the old man, who was almost unconscious, suddenly woke up. He kept saying that he wanted them to take the case out of the car, although she didn't understand, but Annie chose to do it. At this moment they never imagined. Today's kind gesture would later bring them an unimaginable fortune.